It's not just your opinion, no, 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 no. It's an opinion. Call into Opinion Radio. Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. Call into Opinion Radio. Do, 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 do.
Welcome to our show today, this week's edition of Opinion Radio, with your host Julie Sidestepper. Call in your opinion about anything, any idea, any subject. This is where you can voice your opinion. And we have a caller on the line now.
Hi there, Julie here. It's Uncle Frank here, and again, I'm calling in and all and what have you. And I'm just wanting to say I had this young couple broke down out there by my house out there at Flattown the other night. Radiator and all, went out, and it was raining, what have you. They had a little dog and what all, and so I let them come on in, and of course we all was spooked to begin with because the car broke down, and the old boy forgot to charge his cell phone up and all, so they sat down by the fireplace and dried off, and I fed the dog part of a pork chop and all, and I heard noise outside, some kind of a racket, and so I grabbed my shotgun. Well, that spooked the old girl, of course, but anyhow, I went outside looking to see what I could find, and of course something had killed some of my chickens. Now, I had kind of a suspicion in the back of my mind, but it don't make a lot of sense right now, because I've had chickens killed before quite a long time ago, and I'm not going to get into that during this phone call, but anyhow, something killed some of my chickens. So anyhow, I went on out into the woods, I've seen some weird stuff out there. Those old chemicals that they dump from that Vincini Cosmetics Corporation, they float down that creek there that runs back behind my house there, off in the woods, and runs on down there by that biotech lab. And I'm telling you, I've seen some weird things moving and sitting around out there at night. I ain't ever said nothing to nobody because I thought they'd think I was crazy or all, but I'm just tired of keeping it to myself and all. And, I'm just telling you, there's some weird stuff out there in the woods. So, anyhow, it's all I got to say. This is Uncle Frank here. Thank you. Thank you.
It's not just your opinion, no, 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 no. It's an opinion. Call into Opinion Radio. Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. Call into Opinion Radio. Do, 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 do.
Good evening, listeners out there and callers. This is Robinson Kilroy here, filling in tonight for Juliana Sidestepper. She couldn't be here. This is, of course, Opinion Radio. And our subject tonight is, what are some of the strangest things that have ever happened to you? So we'd like for you to call in and tell us some of the really strange things that have happened to you. And here comes a caller now on line one. It's Uncle Frank here. I just down there at the Super Deluxe grocery store the other night, the one where they found that girl's body behind the store the other night that they think might have been the new serial killer, some kind of a copycat or something rather like that. And, that old skateboarder Timmy and all came along and flashed you up, what was left of her anyway, and put her in a cart. They found all that on videotape, of course. They still don't know for sure where he took her or what happened to Flash here. even what happened to Timmy, and all. And anyhow, I was in the grocery store there at Super Deluxe, and I seen this old gal, and she's a good-looking woman. And she's had her face about halfway covered up, kind of a little old mask or something. I don't know what, she'd been in an accident or what, and she's wearing these long red gloves. And she didn't have much to say. She's standing in front of me at the grocery line there, paying for her groceries there at the checkout hall. I don't know. One conversation led to another, and we got talking about talk radio, and I told her I like to call in, and she said she recognized my voice. I guess a lot of people know me, Uncle Frank. I call into a bunch of these shows, and she said she called into some of them, too. Anyway, I didn't catch her name or anything like that, and then she was out of there. Of course, I had quite a few groceries. Aunt Suki ate for a lot, I'll tell you what. And anyhow, and she just, I just don't know what was going on wearing them long red gloves and all, and I just thought it was odd, just kind of unusual, and so I thought I'd just call in about that tonight, and it's been Uncle Frank. Thank you.
Savings Thursday here at Super Deluxe Grocery, and we are offering 30% off on all Vincini products. Grab a tube of Uncle Crud Buckets Aching Shoulder Creme for just $2.99. And get Vinci Pop soft drinks for just $1.99 a six-pack. And don't forget to try the exciting new Slidette 3 cologne for the little Miss Fancy Pants in your family. Save today, save every day. Right here at Super Deluxe Grocery, the oldest supermarket in Murgatroyd City, serving our customers for over 75
Mister, you can't be serious. You can't possibly buy one of those tainted products and support an evil, demented, twisted woman like that CEO Judy Vincini and her cohorts. She destroyed the faces of thousands of women nationwide, and you are going to stand here and buy one of her products? Are you out of your mind?
Now, hold on there just a minute, lady, and you just don't know what my wife, Aunt Suki's like. She's seen the commercial there for this Slidette 3 while she was watching her soap opera, The Heart's Desire and all, and Aunt Suki's always been partial to colognes and perfumes and all that, so she sent me down here to get her this Slidette 3 so she could see what it smelled like and all, and I'll catch up if I get home without this thing. Now, come on, you gotta relax a little bit. I believe you're kind of overreacting a little bit, don't you?
You're just like the rest of the ignorant, apathetic public. It's idiots like you that made Judy Vincini the filthy rich monster that she is. My face got scarred by her tainted face cream, and like thousands of other women I got an insult of a settlement from that class action lawsuit. But what goes around comes around, and Judy's number is up. Sorry, mister, but I have to get out of here before I throw up.
You have reached the automated answering service of the top secret biotech lab. Dr. Getrick is not available at the moment. If you need to talk to Dr. Reeb Summer, please press 1. To leave a message, please press 2. To inquire about job opportunities in the Top Secret Biotech Lab, please press 3. If you have a question or a comment about a test that you once took here, please press 4. For any other inquiry, press 5, and if you think you have to talk to someone immediately, please press 0. This is the Top Secret Biotech Lab, and we appreciate your call.
It's Uncle Frank here and all, and I don't know, I think it's the biotech lab and all. It's just Dr. Reed Summer. Well, if I can't get nobody on here, I hope this answering machine here, whatever y'all got out there, is recording me. You know, I'm trying to tell y'all something. I went up there, was out walking, and I started walking every night because, you know, it's good for your health and all. And I found part of Flashy's foot, Flashy paper doll. You know, now the reason I recognized it's because one time she got her foot caught over there in a bush over at their Dead Center Park and all, you know, when that old clown was chasing her, trying to cut her with scissors. Or I don't know, that day he was after her with a staple gun because I got scared he'd try to get after me with it. So, but anyhow, I rescued that day and take her foot back on and all, and so I recognized this. I know it's part of her foot and everything, and so and I found it behind the Super Deluxe grocery there, and all of it was a walk-in. And so I just want to know if I'd bring that foot out there to y'all and leave it and drop it off, or should I just put it in the mail, or what? It's kind of spooky and spooky and all, because I don't know what y'all got going on out there at that biotech lab and all, but this foot kind of moved a little bit last night. It kind of twitched and all, and that scared the dickens out of Aunt Suki, and so I just need to get this thing out of the house before she has a heart attack or a nervous breakdown and all. So it's like I say, this is Uncle Frank, and it's a part of it. It's not the whole foot. It's just part of well, you know, she got cut up, I guess. Y'all seen that on television and all, and some kind of a copycat serial killer or whatever cut her up and stuff, and then that old skateboarder Timmy came along and picked what was left of her up and put it in a cart and all and took off with it. But anyhow, what I'm trying to get at is I just don't want to keep this part of her foot around in the house anymore, because it's just, well, we don't know what to do. It's just scaring the heck out of Aunt Suki. So I'm just going to drive down there to the biotech lab and knock on the door, push the button, whatever I'm supposed to do, and hand this foot to their room. It is Uncle Frank. Thank you.
What'd you bring that old foot back here for? I asked you to get rid of it. Now don't bring it in the house. Don't bring it in the house. Put it out in the backyard or something if you're going to keep it. But don't bring it in the house. I wish you'd throw that old foot away.
Well, now, Aunt Suki, listen to me. When I went out there to the biotech lab, the whole dadgum place was surrounded from half a mile back by the Secret Service and the FBI and the police and I don't know what all. And I wasn't about to go off in there with this foot while they had the place under lockdown like that. Now, I could have thrown this old foot out the window, but it's Flashy's foot. And so we'll just keep it in the backyard and see what happens. And I believe it's grown a little since we got it. It's now full-size foot, and you can see part of her ankle sticking up there, and it's still moving a little bit. So I don't know what's going on with it, but if we just keep it out there in the backyard, it ain't going to hurt you, it ain't going to hurt me, it ain't going to bother nobody. And we live far enough from the neighbors, unless they've got a damn pair of binoculars, they ain't going to see that foot anyway. Now, what we got to hope some wild animal, of course, don't get out there and get a hold of that foot. But imagine it can kick or move or whatever if that was to happen. But anyway, I'll just stick it out in the backyard. I don't think the chickens will mess with it. Hell, they'll probably run from it. Anyhow, I'm going to keep it until all this blows over, and then I might just mail it to the Biotech Lab anonymously or something. All righty. Thank you.
Skitters returning your call. Uncle Frank, you left a message indicating that you might have a tip, some information concerning the Judy Vincini kidnapping case.
Thank you, Lieutenant Skitters. This is Uncle Frank. All what I seen might not amount to a hill of beans, might not mean a thing, but I was down there, to the Super Deluxe grocery store the other night, where I shop all the time. And there's this gal in line in front of me, and she's a good-looking woman, too, but about half her face was covered up with some kind of little old mask or a veil or something or another, and she's wearing these long red gloves. And you know how unusual that is, seeing anybody with them long red gloves out shopping and all. And she just got upset and had a hissy fit when I was buying my wife Aunt Suki a bottle of that Slidette 3 cologne, and she just went off on how awful Judy Vincini was and how awful the company was and everything else. And she said Judy Vincini's number is up and something about karma and I don't know what all, and she just acted strange and got mad and just stormed out of there and just left there, and I didn't think anything of it. Then I listened to a lot of these call-in talk shows, and I remembered running into her before down there to the Super Deluxe, and we had talked before in line and all, and she was in a good mood that time, and she recognized my voice from calling into those talk shows and all. And I recognized her, and of course she's talking about her face, getting damaged and all by that. You might remember that, the acid in the Vincini face cream and all a few years ago, when they had them Senate hearings and all this and that. So anyways, I got to thinking about it, and that old gal might have had something to do with that kidnapping. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Now, I don't know what her name was. I didn't catch her name. But she's a tall, good-looking woman and all, and said something about you used to have a modeling career and what have you, and she had long, I believe her hair was brunette. Anyhow, I hope that helps, Lieutenant Skitters. If you need anything else, you've got my number, and just call me. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to Opinion Radio, where you can call in with your opinions.
Welcome to our show today, this week's edition of Opinion Radio, with your host Julietta Sidestepper. Call in your opinion about anything, any idea, any subject. This is where you can voice your opinion. And we have a caller on the line.
Hello there, Julietta. It's Uncle Frank here. I was going to tell you about something kind of strange, kind of unusual and all that happened to me. I live out there in the woods between Flat Town and Murgatroyd, and all like that. I got chickens out in the backyard, and I'll go out there in the woods, and my shotgun, if I hear something, like a coyote or wolf or whatever, you know what I mean. And there's this little old creek that runs between the Vincini Cosmetic Corporation and that their biotech lab and all down there. Anyhow, I've seen some weird stuff out there, and I called one time and kind of talked about it, but something really odd that happened the other day. I was out there close to that creek, and I seen this little old thing kind of slither up close to me. What I thought it was a snake, and all it looked like a snake, and I didn't know exactly what it was. And it looked straight up at me, and it talked to me. It said, "Hello, how are you?" I'm not used to seeing some kind of a snake talk to me and all, and it just kind of, I didn't know what to do about it. I don't want to tell Aunt Suki because she's scared to death of snakes. She'd be wanting to move if she knew it was out there behind us. So anyhow, I got in, got on Google and all, and looked up on the internet, and it turned out it was an eel. It wasn't a snake; it was an eel. But anyway, this little old thing, it talked to me, and that's the kind of weird stuff that's going on. Those old chemicals going down there at the biotech lab, and there ain't no telling what else is out there in the woods. I've seen some weird stuff I ain't even gonna repeat. But I just thought I'd pass that along there to the listeners, Juliera. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Suki, I got something I got to tell you and all. I want you to remain calm and don't get upset and don't get scared and none of that because of your nervous condition and all. I hadn't said anything the past few days, but you hadn't felt good. You've been staying inside, so you hadn't been out in the backyard. So before you go out there, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of warning now. Like I said, just stay calm. Don't let it rattle your cage and all. Well, anyhow, what I'm trying to get at is that foot of Flashy's foot out there, well, it done growed. At first it growed a calf, so then it was just about a half leg, and that was just a few days ago and all, and now it was a full leg, yesterday. Now there's 2 legs out there. And last time I looked, it was upside down, just sticking out of the ground. I don't know if it was taking a nap or what. I don't know if paper doll legs have to sleep or what. And, of course, they don't eat anything. I mean, legs can't eat. At least I've never seen legs eat. And all, I guess they must just be absorbing energy through osmosis or what have you. Anyhow, they're not bothering anybody. They're just still out there in the backyard and all. And chickens, of course, are scared of them. It's to be expected. But they're not bothering the cat. I don't think the cat knows what to make of them. And the dog just sits and stares at them. They just, neither the cat or dog, neither one's afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them either. I mean, what are a couple of legs going to do? Run from me, try to kick me? Anyhow, it's Flashy's legs out there now, so just listen. Don't let it upset you. As long as we don't have some old nosy neighbor with a pair of binoculars, and we're not going to have any issues out of this. Now, I don't know when they'll stop growing if they do. Heck, they might grow into another Flashy out there in the backyard, and then I'm really going to have to contact that biotech lab and all. I ain't going back down there, though, after I've seen all them Secret Service and FBI and all that around the place there. And I told you about that old eel the other day that talked to me that's out in the woods. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on down there at that biotech lab, but I ain't trying to find out. Anyhow, we're just going to keep these legs out here in the backyard, and I'm just letting you know, Aunt Suki, so you don't have a heart attack or a nervous breakdown and all. Thank you. Thank you.
jealous type. But you've been spending an awful lot of time out there in the backyard with them legs of Flashy. And you didn't know it the other day, but I looked out the kitchen window and I seen you bent over. And your hips was just gyrating back and forth. And I noticed them old legs only grew up to the waist. So I hope you got a good explanation for yourself, Uncle Frank. I'd hate to think you've been cheating on me with a pair of paper doll legs out there in the backyard. Hope them legs don't grow into a full-size Flashy. I'd hate to see what you might do then. Anyhow, I'm watching you. You just remember that, Uncle Frank. I'm watching you. That's it. You got it?
Now, I ain't Suki. We've been married for 50 years. I can't believe you'd be jealous of a dadgum paper doll. And by the way, it ain't just legs out there now. You was right. She done growed into a full-size Flashy. I don't know what we're going to do with her. She started talking up a storm last night, and I said, well, you're free to go and leave anytime you want to. I don't know what paper dolls eat, but we ain't got anything here around the house for you. And of course, the cat and the dog ain't paying no attention to her, and chickens are scared of her. And I imagine she'll just wander off back to Biotech Lab. And to begin with, she seemed to remember who she was. She said, I'm Flashy the paper doll, and this and that and all. And I just turned around and came back in the house, you know. There wasn't nothing else I could do. I ain't trying to fool with that old Biotech Lab, you know, after the other day when I went down there and they're surrounded by the feds and everything else. So I'm just hoping the neighbors don't see her out there in the backyard. I'm hoping she just takes off and wanders off, and I expect that's what's going to happen, you know. So don't get upset, Aunt Suki, and get over your little jealousy bit, all right? Thank you.
Oh my. I can honestly say that I am certain.
Aunt Suki, best get in here and sit down. They're going to Washington. That old senator's going to have them Senate hearings on, and they got that Flashy the paper doll that we had out in the backyard. They done captured her. They got her on there, and they got that old doctor from down there, that woman doctor from the Biotech Lab. Anyhow, they're fixing to be on.
Oh, Uncle Frank. They done preempted my soap opera, Heart's Desire, again.
Heart's Desire is brought to you by Vincini Skin Cream and Vincini Ultra Deluxe 3-Star Gourmet.
This is Humilla's son at CRZY, and we interrupt today's episode of Heart's Desire to take you alive to the Senate hearings and to the Energy Time Flux device. Senator Devane has both Flashy the paper doll and Dr. Jacqueline Reeb Summer appearing before the committee today, and he will be asking both of them questions as he further continues his probe into the Energy Time Flux device. And we join the live coverage now as it is taking place in Washington, D.C. And Senator Devane is about to begin questioning them.
Well, Dr. Jacqueline Reeb Summer. I've uncovered your little chamber of horrors down there at the Biotech Lab. The authorities searching the place found records where you brought Eric Niedermeyer back to life. The Murgatroyd serial killer, you and Dr. Yetrick with your little Frankenstein experiments, brought a cold-blooded mass serial killer back to life. And now he's killed Blatson the artist over there in France. Lieutenant Skinner's for Murgatroyd's on his way over there now. I ought to hold you on any charge we can come up with. And that paper doll there, I got plans for her, too. So what you got to say for yourself, Dr. Jacqueline Reed Sommer, bringing a serial killer back to life and turning him on the loose? I wish Dr. Getrick was here now. I'm going to have his hide once I get a hold of him.